representing Palace, so let's tell you about Palace. Rolling straight to the ceiling, crowns and crystals, top like journeys, dishing out malice. Hold up, South London's grandest, far from bandits. Everything earned for a goal of elevation. Just passing the team over here might finish out bright future we can't vanish. SE25 any day, that's sellers. Rev up the engines, no more reverse reactions. Fan cams, bands on stream. Share up the team, support the dream team when Eagles fly, make noise and scheme. Dare to dream or dream to dare, taking a step to become supreme.
Good evening, everyone. Hope you're well. Hope you're doing good. And we're back with another Palace situation. This time, the focus is on our protest, which is, I believe, they gathered at Norwood Junction at 7 o'clock. I believe they're going to start the march towards Sellers Park at 7:30. JC and Chairman, and I believe Dan as well, are there already. So we're going to patch in with them at moments as well to obviously see what the vibe is like. We are vlogging it as well, so that will come out as a separate video because I believe we want to try and talk to some fans about what their viewpoints are and so on and so forth. It's just, there's a lot going on, and we're just trying our best to bring as much as we can to you guys. Here once again with Tim. How you doing, mate?
I'm all right, man. How you feeling?
I'm
all
honestly,
kind of feeling that. That's all of us, isn't it?
Yeah, I literally, I'm almost resigned to like saying, I don't care, just give us Europa so we can just get with our transfer window. But then I don't want them to win in the most fickle of ways. If we screwed up, then let it be our screw up sort of thing, you know. But let us at least go down fighting. That's all I want.
That's the thing. That's important to me. I wrote to the club and I wrote in. Hopefully, you all did your protest letters to UEFA. I wrote my protest letter yesterday. I did, you know, so like I just want us to fight, and if we lose, we lose. Yeah. But I want us to fight. Like this is it is unjust. We do need to fight, and if we fight and we lose, okay. But as fans, like no, we should be having none of this and make them make the hard decision.
No, 100%. Let's go through a few comments early doors, and obviously apologies in advance if, as we're talking, we'll try and get show the comments or we'll try and discuss comments. But sometimes we just get so into it. And then next minute we're like, oh my gosh, the comments. And then we're trying to scramble. But big up to Red F says, here seems like Botafogo sold Forest 2 players here. I mean, their interaction's a bit odd, but you know, look, it is what it is. Monty saying here he's on his night shift. Make sure you have a great night shift. Hope you've had enough rest as well, Monty, because I know night shifts are not easy.
Yeah.
Winter's Gate is saying that we have nothing to do with Texter, but obviously everything's to do with March 1st. Yep. Which is what they're going for. He also says screw UEFA and screw Forest. And big up to the best Dozy. UEFA is corrupt. I must say as well, by the way, spray painting around our stadium is not, it doesn't make any sense, guys. But there are some images around Tim now that around our stadiums, UEFA corrupt, UEFA mafia and stuff like that. Spray painting. Let's not vandalize our own stuff.
Yeah, let's not do that. And yeah, you don't want to do that by the stadium. I mean, I get it, but like, come on. There's better ways to do it.
No, 100%.
Okay, so Shed, if you've got two direct.
Hello.
Hey.
Wow, I can't believe the streams. I can't believe our video is actually that stable.
I mean, hold tight Vodafone. That's what I'll say. Hold tight Vodafone. It could be a bit of a mess. But right now, the situation is the HF are building a banner. Let me see if I can show you. No.
Lovely jubbly.
Can we see this?
Yeah.
So the HF are currently building a banner of some sort. There's a good chunk of people here, to be fair.
There's more than I thought there'd be.
Nice.
And we still got 10 minutes to go.
No, that's a good look. That's a good look.
We don't really know what's actually meant to happen. I don't know if we're going for a walk or what's going on.
Yeah, so we're not exactly sure on what's going down, but I am trying to get clips for a vlog as well. So if you see us jumping in and out the stream, then that's why. But
No, absolutely.
yeah,
What's the kind of like general consensus there at the moment? Like, have you been able to speak to a few fans? How they feeling?
I mean, we haven't spoken to anyone as of yet. We're sort of waiting until things start to get going. But I think the whole consensus is everyone's still a little bit confused about exactly what's going on. Like everyone's still trying to figure out the all the politics behind Nottingham Forest and Leon and how comes sixth place gets in above our cup win. It's a very, very strange, very strange atmosphere.
No, but yeah, all right, we'll leave you to it for now and stuff, and yeah, jump in once it all get started.
You feel the banner.
All right.
All right, wicked.
I
JC
mean,
and
we
Chairman.
are here with Javid, who's one of the guys that tried to buy Palace through.
Yeah.
He is here with us, so you know we might
Nice.
talk to him a little bit, but you know he's actually a good friend of Chairman's, which is quite strange. But yeah,
Saying about
we'll get back to you. Oh,
He's
is
mediating.
this allowed to go on stream?
He was mediating, wasn't he?
No. Okay, I will get some information, and then
Ask him if-
I'll delegate the information. Yeah.
Gotcha.
All right.
Ask if he's got good lawyers.
Right.
Put it this way, I know Woody Johnson has good lawyers. So
Yeah,
I bet
he does.
he's introducing Paris to a wolf pack of lawyers in New York right now. That's all I'm
There
saying.
you go.
But
There you
I'll
go.
be back.
All right, sweet. Got you in a bit. No, that's JC. Yeah, we'll keep patching in with those guys there. I mean, I'm happy I'm here doing this live stream with you guys, with Tim. I had to look after the girls. That's why I couldn't be there myself.
That's a good reason, Rich. It's a good reason.
It is a good reason. It is a good reason. All right, let's get. Oh snap! I was doing comments. Right, so I'm gonna switch through this quick. Big up CPFC Sean. Big up Harvey 22. I'm worried that they both will. To be honest, but
I'm not convinced. We could talk about that. I'm not convinced. There's a lot of nonsense floating around, but we can talk about it.
Big up Spiritual. Big up Ollie.
Oh, nice. He's filming today. Good.
Oh, nice. That's a good gig. Well done. Big up Animal.
Yeah,
Who's
agree on text.
Unknown Gaming. Big up. Who else is here? Big up Damo. Big up Mark. I mean, after what I saw against Millwall, I'm not confident. Big up Rexy. Big up Tim. Big up A Eagles. Big up Luca. This is an Arsenal fan, guys. Go and give him a sub and like his stuff. He's a top guy, to be fair. Big up Mary. Big up Luke. Big up Julia. Hope I've pronounced that correctly. And not missed anything major yet. We just started. We did patch into JC, Chairman, and Dan, who are at the protest. Are just waiting for them to start the march, which should start in about 5 minutes. They're going to be jumping in and out of stream. Right, let's get into it. First topic, the reasons for the protest. Now, for me personally, I have seen a few people think, what's the point, especially because it's from Norwood Junction to Sellers, which doesn't seem major. I believe there was one, correct me if I'm wrong, at UEFA headquarters in central London. I don't know if that definitely went ahead. But
I'm not sure if it went ahead or not, but that was a plan that I heard about, Rich.
Yeah. For me personally, and I'll let Tim have a say afterwards, I think the reason we've got to do this, we've got to get media attention to this.
Yes.
For one. And number two, we could be the one that represents all the not so called like top six, you know, because we all know, let's be real. If this was Man City, Man United, Chelsea, Arsenal, let's even chuck Newcastle in there, Spurs, they will find
a way.
They'll find a way. They'll find a way around it. Why? Because money talks, unfortunately.
Yep.
Money talks. The money that they think that they can generate with having Manchester United or Man City be on their TV screens, obviously we may not produce that sort of revenue. you know. But I think it's very important. What's your thoughts on that, Tim?
No, I agree. And this is something where this is a plea to my fellow Palace fans who are, if you're tuning in, or if you know a Palace fan that's like here in the States or South America, Asia, anywhere around the world. Like, I know we are a smaller club, but Palace does have an increasing global footprint. And this is, I think you're spot on about this, Rich. Like, we want to make the case that, yes, we are a smaller club, but we ain't that small. And we've been around for a while, and we've got some stuff to say. We got some more.
Yeah, can you hear me, Rich?
We can hear you, Chairman.
Oh, that's good. I think he's muted, didn't he?
Sorry, I was muted. I can hear you.
I can hear you now, yeah. But it's about 5-6 minutes now. The HF have turned up, as you can see. And yeah, and the police are here. There's about 6 or 7 vanfuls as well, which is ironic, isn't it? But there you go.
No,
And as you can see,
have you been?
Dan's made it.
Yeah. Have you been able to figure out what the banner is?
Not yet. They haven't unveiled it yet.
Okay.
They were going to do it, but then the cars are trying to get out, so they close it again. But once they start to unwind it, I'll run around the front and show you what's going on.
Awesome. All right, Joan. Cheers for that.
So I'll leave it running anyway. No problems.
All right, no problems. What I'll do is I'll put it on. I'll turn it down a little bit as we're talking. There we go. All right. But yeah, so you're right in saying that. Like, you know what? Yes, we're deemed a small club, but we're not. Like, the FA Cup's a massive deal. It's the biggest cup competition, like domestic competition in the world. Personally, I think it's bigger than the Coppa del Rey. It's bigger than the Coppa Italia. It is a massive tournament, and to be demoted through technicalities, personally, it's an absolute joke. Let's move on to Parish's interview. I'm only going to pick on 2 sections that we discussed. So, firstly, he said, "We're devastated," Parish told Sky Sports. "It's a bad day for football. It's a terrible injustice. I do believe nobody wants to see this. I don't think UEFA wants to see this. We've been locked out of a European competition on the most ridiculous technicality. Supporters of all clubs should be devastated for us." What do you make of that initial statement?
I think he's right, and there is this question, and I'll just address it here because I see what I can't remember the name, but there's an anonymous. I don't know if they're a Forest fan or not, but just like talking about like, I don't see the injustice. I'll tell you what I think the injustice is, and look. We can disagree, and I have no problem with that. If you disagree with this, no problem. But I want to make the argument for you. And it's this. Palace are getting caught out by a rule that is meant to crack down on multi-club ownership. And so they are cracking down. It's like a friend of mine likes to say this. Like when he saw this reaction, he said, "Oh my God. UEFA is so mad at Manchester City that they decided to kick Crystal Palace out of the Europa League." In other words, we're not a multi-club. We're not a club that is in a multi-club setup, but we're being caught out by a rule that is meant to curb and govern multi-club ownership setups. That's the injustice. It isn't. I mean, you could. I think there's a letter of the law argument here that March 1st is March 1st, and you could make that argument if you want. I wouldn't necessarily dispute that, but if you're going to make an argument that, hey, you didn't follow the rules, well, it is a multi-club ownership setup that is supposed to file this by March 1st, and we didn't file that paperwork by March 1st. Now, if you want to make the argument, which is what UEFA is doing, this is what the CFCB did.
I'm just gonna
corrupt. Here we go. We got some signs here.
Yeah, keep going, Tim.
Well, and so I think that is the injustice that Steve is talking about there. The rule is catching out a club for which that rule was never meant to, it was never meant to apply to a situation like ours. Now, honest people can disagree and say, like, look, Texter owned 43% of the shares outstanding. That's decisive influence according to the UEFA rules because it's over 30%. So even if all of these mitigating circumstances say that you're not in a multi-club ownership setup, it doesn't matter. It's above 30%. You're out. That is an argument. I would say, though, that is a pretty lousy argument, because then what you are admitting, if you're UEFA, not you, anybody on this stream, what you're admitting is like, yeah, you know what? This multi-club ownership rule applies broadly. It really doesn't matter whether you're in a multi-club setup or not. If you have multiple shareholders, and let's say they're passive shareholders and they own like 32% of the shares outstanding, but they're always like in Abu Dhabi and they never show up to a board meeting, well, you're still in a multi-club ownership setup. Sorry. But that may be an investor who has stakes in multiple clubs, who has no influence whatsoever. But by the UEFA definition, you do have influence. And so I think that argument is right. And Palace should fight it, because John Texter didn't have decisive influence. We know he didn't have decisive influence. We know that Crystal Palace is set up as a general partnership across 4 different partners, where all of the minority partners who don't have the golden share that Steve Parrish has only have 25% say. It isn't the same as anybody else that is in this situation. So Kaz will either choose to see that or they won't. But I think there is a gross injustice here. I absolutely think it is, because it's catching out a club that isn't in a multi-club setup. That is a fact. Now, Kaz will say, like, too bad, or they'll hear that argument. I don't know, Rich, but I'm glad we're making the argument because I think it's right.
No, absolutely. I'm going to just patch this back to Chairman. Chairman, looks like there's some movement.
Yeah, the guy's just gone up and checked something with his downstairs. You can see him standing at the bottom of the clock tower. And we're going somewhere. I'm not sure where yet, but there's it's rolled out quite a lot now. I thought it was about 500 people there, but as you can see now, it's probably pushing 1,000 now, from what I can see. So let's take a walk up to Sellers. When we get up there, we'll have a couple of speeches and talk about the bollocks that's going on here. So we're going to march the Sellers apparently, and they've got some speakers apparently going to talk about the UEFA incident. So. Fuck UEFA! Fuck UEFA! Fuck UEFA!
Right. I got to mute that before we get in trouble. But we know what we were expecting that to happen.
Yeah.
The second part to Parrish is one of his quotes. He says, "Look, everyone knows we're not part of a multi-club setup. We don't share any staff. We're caught up in a rule that wasn't put there for us. I don't understand why the panel has come to the conclusion that they have done. I think we've shown John had no influence over our club. This is a ludicrous decision. We will ask the appeal court to listen to our argument." I did feel it really quick, to be honest.
Really good. It's good to see this. We need this.
Absolutely. And you know what's interesting as well? I don't know if you noticed, Tim, because I was listening to TalkSport a bit earlier on, and they had mentioned that this is going to happen.
Yeah.
You know, so it's getting the media attention. I think that's the most important bit.
I do too. And I think what's going to be infuriating about this, and we've heard this, and Mike, I saw your comment about like 43% is always decisive influence. It isn't always, but I'm not going to go down that path, because then you're going to get me going to my job, which is I'm an equity research analyst, so I've seen a million of these setups. Oh, here we go. Couldn't see what it said, Rich. Can you see it?
Yeah. Nah. Was you able to get round to the very front, if possible?
This is brilliant. Really great.
Chairman's not going to be happy with us. We've got him running.
Morally bankrupt.
Morally bankrupt. Revoke the
rule.
Ruling now.
Revoke the ruling now. Nice.
Awesome. Thanks, Chairman.
Great stuff, Chairman.
Yeah. Chairman, we'll leave you to it. Enjoy the protest. Join us again when you get to sell us.
Okay, yeah, we'll do. No problem.
Sweet.
All right. Well done. That's brilliant, Rich. I love that. And I sort of thing.
Yeah. Sorry, I accidentally kicked you out. I was trying to hide Chairman. I think he didn't take himself out, so I clicked your one.
I love that though. I love seeing it. But just for Mike, I saw what you said there, and I don't really want to go down that path of like, because we could go down like company structures and things like that. Passive holdings that are like less than 50%. And maybe this is just a US thing, but this is so common, particularly in the US, where you have like founders, you have like controlling stock, and then you have big holders of, shareholding, and they have no say whatsoever. This is pretty common stuff. It just isn't common in football, though. So that's a different, but whatever, man. I think Palace has a good argument to make here. And I'm completely on board with us making the argument, because the infuriating thing, Rich, and I wonder how you think about this. UEFA was already talking about, maybe moving the deadline back now because of all this big shitstorm, pardon me, moving it back to July 1, and then wouldn't that be a little bit infuriating? Like, this wasn't great, and we caught out a club that we didn't mean to catch out, and so we're going to move it to July 1st. That would just be like, all right, you know what? You're letting us know that you know the problems here, but you're not willing to make the adjustment, which is a little bit frustrating.
Yeah, like that rumor of them looking to move the date back is a shambles. It's a complete shambles.
Totally. Because
it means they've moved it, screwed up by moving it, because they found themselves in this situation.
Right.
I thought, actually, we actually really haven't given a team like Palace the opportunity to sort out their ordeals if need be and stuff, because it's before anyone would have known that we would have got there and stuff. Right. And I know there was a comment earlier that I put up about Parish being negligent. It kind of feeds into before we go into the whole email thing, actually, Spiritual, you asked him what the banner said. So there is a picture now up on Twitter. UEFA, morally bankrupt, revoke the ruling now. So that's what the banner says.
Love it.
Currently.
Can we just give a shout out to the HF, because over the past couple of months, like throughout the FA Cup run, and like, I mean, I know the HF are far from perfect, but you know what? They've been brilliant. They really have been. Over the past several months, they've been spot on. So, I mean, well done to the HF.
No, absolutely. We're only going to briefly discuss this because I don't think it's true, but if it is true, it's really silly. The email address saga. Oh, before that, Chairman's decided to join again, so something must.
Oh, what do we got?
Hey, Chairman.
Yeah, we're in amongst it a little now. And apparently they got 2 guest speakers when we get to Sellers. So take that for what you will.
Yeah.
So hang on a sec. They just stop for a minute. Let me get it. You can see what's going on.
Ask for an application form for the HF.
Exactly. Yeah.
Love it.
I think his gut's massive.
I love this so
That's
much.
actually funny.
So good.
I'm not gonna, this chart is hilarious.
This is so good.
Look at these two. Look, bloody hell.
So good. So good.
Oh man.
Really good.
But
Really good.
anyway, Tim. Cheers, Chairman.
So, it's okay. I'll just stay on when we're nearly at Palace anyway. We're walking down Holmesdale Road, so no problems.
Sweet. What I'll do is I'll meet for the meantime whilst me and Tim are having a chat.
Yeah, no problems.
All right.
Sweet.
Thanks, Chairman.
There we go.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, it is, to be honest. You know what the bad thing is? UEFA are probably watching that again. F us. All right, that's it. We're not out here.
Well, I mean, look, do we not know that that ship has sailed? Because I came on here a few days ago, and I am not the only one that was cursing out UEFA a few days ago. So I think I think that ship has sailed. Like we've been cursing them out for days now, and I think, you know what, rightfully so. Like this is the anger that we all feel, and you know, look, we think it's an injustice. What do you want from us? We think it's an injustice. We're pissed. Yeah, that's. I mean, you expect something else?
That's
so
quality.
good.
But yeah, this emo thing, because we're hearing so many different like
I know.
variations and stuff like you're talking about. Oh, it got sent to info at Palace or at cpfc.co.uk or whatever it may be. This is not something that we should, as a club, I don't think we should go with this argument.
No,
whatsoever.
you know that we're not, though. I mean,
Yeah, we're not. No.
We're not going with that. Steve was, I mean, come on. Let's get it right. The point that Steve was making is that we aren't in UEFA's orbit. In fact, we're so far from UEFA's orbit, they don't even know how to contact us. So they wrote something to info@cpfc.co.uk. That was the point he was making. It has nothing to do with the email. He was just making an illustration.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. And yeah, I mean, I've seen a lot of other people chime in like, hey, shouldn't they check the emails? Shouldn't they forward it on? And it's just, oh gosh.
I know.
You know what? Keep this going, guys. Keep this banter going. I know he hates it. I know he hates it, but we love it. Let it go on every stream all season. How shameless sleeping.
Nicky gets some strays, but I have to say he kind of brought that one on himself.
He really did. Well, we've obviously know that the FA supported our cause as well, which is great to hear. Mike Keenan of the Daily Mail wrote that the FA have written to UEFA in support of Crystal Palace's argument after their demotion from the Europa League, with officials supporting the right of the FA Cup winners to take part in the competition. The backing could come in handy as Palace prepare to appeal to CAS. And I genuinely do think, you know, I genuinely do think it's good to get their support, basically. Whether or not we we win this appeal. I'm glad. I was worried that they were very quiet initially, you know, but they have come up, they have spoken, and it's talking about that keeping. Because don't forget, UEFA as well are thinking, and don't forget FIFA, the FA are thinking, right, if teams are going to get absolutely screwed over by winning the FA Cup, it's going to downgrade the importance of the FA Cup.
Absolutely.
You know?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think Matt makes a point here that I think is important along these lines. Like the Premier League sent a warning of changes to all clubs at the end of October. And what he says is Parish is negligent. I would say the only thing you want to change there. Oh, hang on. Let's go back to chairman.
No, it's okay. Just they're singing songs out without swearing, so I thought I'll unmute it again. There's quite a nice song about Marinakis going on, but they've gone back to normal now. So.
Yeah, feel free to unmute whenever you need to, Chairman.
Yeah, no problems.
All right, sweet.
Are you subscribed though?
So what I was saying there, Rich, is just like, but the point is Parish is negligent. I would change that, Matt, to say like Texter is negligent. I don't put any of this on Steve Parish. You cannot tell me, at least this is not how I feel. You can't tell me that Steve Parish would have gone to John Texter and said, John, you've got to, I know you're trying to sell your shares, but you've got to put your shares in a blind trust and force him to do it. That was never going to happen. So I don't put any of this on Steve Parish. I know that some people do. I do not. I put all of that. So the part that is to blame on our end, and we do share in the blame here, I put all of that, 100% of that on John Texter. So I'm not disagreeing with your point here, Matt, but let's not get it wrong. This isn't Steve Parish here that screwed something up. This is John Texter, who not only knew he screwed up, he knew he screwed up while he was lifting the FA Cup because he gave an interview in which he said it.
Yeah, he said that the severity of the occasion came like when he lifted it next to the prince, I believe he said.
Yep.
And stuff. So, yeah. What do we have next? Right, let's actually talk about, because I know you've got about 10 minutes. Tim.
Yeah.
Let's talk about another club that actually been expelled.
Yep.
Now, we already heard about Drogheda. They were expelled for multi-club ownership, but their ones was like a crazy, like almost 80%.
Yeah, and
like
well, and they also qualified. Unfortunately, like they qualified in November and they had till March. And I guess they were having discussions, but they truly are like both clubs that were in conflict are owned by this Alabama-based multi-club ownership group. So it was really rough. I feel for Drogheda. That's that. I really feel for them. That really is tough.
Yeah. But another club, I believe it was yesterday, have lost their CAS appeal. So the CAS panel unanimously, also, by the way, the club is FC DAC 1904. So the CAS panel unanimously found A, that the change of the assessment date was in accordance with the procedures established by the UEFA statutes, and B, that there were breaches by DAC of the UEFA club competition regulations, both Article 5.01 B and Article 5.01 C, C4. As the same person is managing and sole director of ETOFC, whilst also being the CEO, vice president, and the board member of DAC. And therefore, this person is not only directly involved in the management of both clubs, but also able to exercise a decisive influence in decision-making of both clubs. In conclusion, the panel dismissed the appeal.
Yeah, and there's a big piece of this appeal, Rich, that I don't think that Palace is going to use in their CAS appeal. Essentially, what they said, they made the argument that the March 1st date is invalid. And CAS kind of threw that aside and said, no, it's not. The March 1st date is not invalid. I don't think Palace is going to make that argument. I think they are going to concede, like, yeah, we missed the paperwork deadline. on March 1st. We know that that is true. What we are asking you to see, well, let's go back to Chairman unmuted there.
I think they're they're going to start speaking by the looks of it now, or they're breaking in one of the two anyway. But but they've climbed across the top of the turnstiles that's entrance 3 of it, as you can see.
Wouldn't it be great if one of the guest speakers was Nick DeMarco, who is, you know, because he's a lawyer that's presented a lot in front of Cal.
Oh my God!
Wow!
That was unexpected.
Wow.
We apologise for the bad luck.
Yeah, we do. That was not expected. 1 second, Chairman. I just want to say a massive thank you to all 204 of you that are actually watching live. I'm surprised the flares are not up. Just gonna mute it quickly. 212 live. Please smash the like button. Really appreciate the fact that you've even decided to join us this evening. What have I just done? Oh, press the right button. That's what. Just on that. I know there's Forest fans in here. NFFC 2000 saying that it's a bit tin pot. Can you look? In all honesty, look, and I've said this at the beginning of the stream, and Tim reiterated that. You've got to think about the bigger picture. This is what we're looking at. Like, notice how we've not come on to blame you guys. We've obviously they're chanting Maranaka stuff and whatnot. But you've got to think this could happen to your club too. And it may not be this specific incident, but UEFA could screw you over in another way. Do you understand? And this goes for whether it's Brighton, who don't want us to be in this competition, whether it's even Newcastle, who've been bantering us about the competition. Outside of that, there's big clubs with Man United, Man City, Arsenal, Chelsea, Tottenham, Liverpool. I guess because they've got Saudi now, you could probably say Newcastle because there's money there. Outside of those clubs, we're fighting our own little battle, you know. So, granted, as a Forest fan, you're gonna benefit, you know, from this decision. But look at the bigger picture. UEFA will continue to screw up the non-top 6 sides. You know what I mean? And this is, we've got to look at the severity of this all. So even us, this maybe looks small in people's eyes. We don't care. Right. We generally don't care. We're trying to prove a point to UEFA that, listen, you're not going to bring us down. Do the right thing. Rescind the decision, like, because it is the right thing. And if you're not, so be it. But either way, we're going to make our voices be heard. That is all it is. So
right. And I got to go in a couple minutes here, but let's not pretend. I mean, I get that, you know, NFCC pointing out, I got 65 points. Let's not pretend we don't deserve it. Hey, fair enough. But we won the FA Cup. Let's not pretend that Palace don't deserve it. They do deserve it. 1,000,000%. We absolutely deserve it. The emails are a red herring. It's a non-issue. And we are a club that is not in a multi-club setup being caught out by a rule that is designed to govern and, you know, be a check on unfair sporting influence in UEFA competitions when you have 2 clubs that are in a multi-club setup, and we are not in one. So we do have a real legitimate argument here to make, and we need to make it because every club that is not amongst the big 6 is subject to this. And if you don't think that's true, I will point you to the other thing that I don't know why other fans are not bringing this up. They're talking about the email, but they're not talking about what this is probably the most powerful part of Steve Parrish's argument. 2005, Liverpool wins the Champions League. They had not qualified for the Champions League, right? They'd won it, but the rule was not at that time that you go into the Champions League. That was not automatic. It's still top 4 places. So what happened? Rules are rules. What happened? You know, they weren't supposed to get in the Champions League, but they did. UEFA changed the rule. So let's not pretend that rules are always rules. And this would be a gross violation if UEFA decided to, you know, show a little grace here, because we gave some grace to Lyon and we gave Forest a 2-month extension, but we give Palace no grace whatsoever. And that would be just a line too far. History does not support that view. UEFA has been incredibly flexible. So, Rich, I got to run to this meeting. I wish I could stay and listen to this, but guys.
No, I appreciate you jumping on those, Tim.
Up the Palace, guys. Take care.
Up the Palace.
We've got the collective
Cheers, Tim.
action and mentality to ensure that we can fight for what's right and to make sure that our club gets the best possible deal for us. This is not the end. This is only the very beginning of this series of protests.
Chairman, have any of the guest speakers spoken already?
Not yet.
Not very long ago, we were celebrating the greatest moment in this club's history. And we'll have that until the day we die. But it ain't quite enough. We're owed something and we're out to get it. Every single person here was at Wembley on that day, and he'll take that feeling and those moments to the grave. It was a very, very special day that we can't put into words. And we've got to continue and go forward from there. UEFA have taken something away from us unjustly, and we're not going to fucking stand for it. Whilst, as I'm sure everyone's aware, it's a complicated subject, but the bottom line is other clubs get to bend the rules. This is Crystal Palace's first outing in Europe, and if it was Man City or Liverpool or Real Madrid, there wouldn't be no such problems.
Absolutely.
100% in it.
This ruling, as Steve Parish said the other day, is morally unjust and fundamentally wrong. Let's not get into the technicalities of anything. We won the FA Cup, we should be going to the Europa League. And that's the bottom line. Ultimately, when it comes to football these days in the modern era, through big business and billionaires throwing their money and weight around, it's supporters like us who lose out. We are here showing solidarity with each other today at Crystal Palace Football Club to ensure we're not going to be thrown about. And as I said previously, this is not the end but the beginning. We've already got a delegation of lads who will be travelling to UEFA headquarters to continue the protest.
All right, there they are. I told you where the flares were. Chairman, I'm going to put you on mute just for a little while.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah. Look, I've seen obviously in the comment section there's like talks about probably Palace mocking Forest for whatever happened. I don't know. This is like I'm just going to speak for me and whatnot. Let's just look at your PSR points deduction thing. Obviously, in a selfish little sense, regarding the fact that you got drawn closer to relegation zone and it was a bit of a battle. Yeah, cool. But like I said, I've always felt that even with that, if I took it unbiased viewpoint to it, that those PSR rules once again are only applying to the smaller clubs. And this is what I'm saying. It's just a rotating cycle where like the bigger clubs can do what they want. Look at Chelsea. They spent what, how many billions of pounds? I don't even think they've caught any sort of PSR sort of thing. And now they can now get away with it because they've sold like what hotels, they did something with Strasbourg. Like unfortunately they've bent the rules, you know. Like, and in one hand, people are calling it are finding ways around it. No, it's bending the rules, really. Like, so we can't have one rule for one and another for another. We've got to be consistent with it. It's a shambles that how the bigger teams get treated compared to how teams like us get treated. You know, so that's just what I wanted to say regarding that. I know Forest's argument.
This is only the beginning. Let's keep going and let's get Palace where we should rightly belong.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? There was a comment I just saw which I think is spot on. Hold on. Oh,
You're gonna go that way.
typical one.
Yeah.
And there you go. So yeah, look, I think this comment is spot on. You know, there are going to be Forest fans who are going to be supportive. Like, so this is what I mean. Like, and this is why I've been very careful with how I've come across regarding like any Forest fan. Who's here? Hold on.
Well, that's what I was thinking. Like,
Sorry, Joe. I'm just going to say something quick, and I'll come back to you.
Yeah, Richard. I think it's all wrapped up now. They're all going to the pub now, so yeah, pretty much. He said everyone's welcome down to Whitehall, so they're all going on there. So yeah,
there it is. No, great job catching that, Chairman. Thanks for linking in with us. Big up JC, big up Dan.
And thanks to everyone who's watching live. I heard it was a few people, wasn't it?
It's gone over 200.
Wow, excellent.
225 at one stage, I think, or even more. So please smash the like button, please. It really helped the channel and stuff. Obviously, everyone's gonna have different viewpoints and stuff, but it's football discourse. We're here to chat about it. But I wanted to discuss this comment here. And look, there are actually Forest fans that are like, you know, this is unfair and stuff. So what I mean by that is like, from a Palace standpoint, I hope we don't try and paint every Forest fan with the same brush, right? I mean, obviously they're benefiting from what's happening. They're happy about what's happening. And some have come with like reasonable arguments to say, like the ones that, for me personally, I get frustrated at are the ones that just say rules are rules. And that's it. Like no substance to it, nothing. Like, all right, what those rules mean? Like, explain, like give it a bit more, you know what I mean? But like a lot of Forest fans have been respectful, you know, so I don't want to paint everyone in the same brush. So yeah. Let me head back to Chairman. I guess that might wrap everything up then, Chairman.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, we're just gonna stay and quickly do some videos for the vlog.
All right,
And then,
wicked.
But pretty much is a fair play to the HF. They're at the moment they're clearing up all the flares, as you can see. So look, they're tidying up behind them, which is you know is good of them. So yeah, which is really good. So yeah, we're gonna do some videos now, and then we'll catch you guys later. Then, yeah.
No, awesome.
Cheers,
Take care.
Bye.
See.
Nice to meet you guys. So you've been at the protest. So what did you?
Yeah, no. Yeah, big up everyone. Thank you for even just tuning in with us today. We will continue to like live stream or do videos, whatever, as we continue to go through this whole CAS appeal. And it's long-winded. I know a lot of people have said, you know what, like we'll take the Europa League and then we can go win that. We're going into a playoff. We may not even get through that. Like there's so many permutations, and these are going to have impacts on even other things regarding our transfer window. This is a big deal. You know, it's a big deal. And I know like I've seen some comments saying that other teams have been able to get their house in order and stuff. It's a lot easier to do that if you're already in those European spots, like halfway through the season. Once again, I'm not going to use that as an excuse, but it is easier. So I know they're saying that Brighton and Bournemouth and that. But I think Bournemouth were 4th at one stage, you know. So naturally, their inclinations to go, oh, boom, let's go and get this sorted. I think Brighton were as high as 5th at one stage, you know. Nottingham Forest were like top 3 for the majority of the season. So naturally, they're going to get, it's easier for them to get. We were 13th. And then, like I said, by the time the deadline came, we were 13th, 12th or 13th, and in the 5th round of the FA Cup. It's not the easiest thing to say, oh, well, by the way, guys, look, let's go and, you know. So, no, everyone's going to have different, they were at different stages throughout the season. We just want what we earned through sporting merit, you know, because one thing, the FA Cup will definitely get devalued if this becomes an ongoing issue, you know, and we should be given what we deserve, personally. And my last point on it, if they really wanted to do something, maybe if they just said, you know what, take a fine. Because realistically, we don't even like Leon. Like, so there's no way, I mean, we don't even like, the club don't really like Textor like that, to be honest. Because if that's the case, I think Textor would have got more influence or more say, and he never did. Parish had all the say. You know what I mean? So, yeah, if it was a fine, I think we would have held our hands up and said, look, next time, just get your books in order. But to obviously get demoted, I think I don't think the crime, the punishment fits the crime. But yeah, we'll leave it as there. We'll leave it there. Now, thank you so much for tuning in. I mean, it's incredible that there was over 200 people watching. Thank you for having your discussions in the chat. Obviously, I couldn't read through all of them because we're in and out of the feed. I hope it was respectful and stuff. But look, all we could do now is just sit down and wait, and see what happens. See if CAS overturned the decision. But we don't know. All right, we'll leave it as that. Guys, smash the like button, subscribe if you're new. And as always, we really do appreciate you. And up the palace.